I hope the weather keeps fine because last weekend it was not good, and because today and tomorrow we are having 2 days off from work
Oh, nice.
because of springtime and Teachers' Day.
Nice.
So though I have piles of things to study and to prepare for the institute, but even though I hope my husband feels like going to the cinema or to the theater, because we've got a card that we pay annually, I have to close the other window
Ah,
there,
okay.
and we go to the theater or to the cinema.
Ah, you need a break,
Yes, yeah.
a diversion.
Yes, it's winter time, but it's a little mild these days, the
Yeah.
weather.
When does winter end in Uruguay? When does spring start?
This weekend,
Ah,
the date is the 23rd, 22nd, 23rd.
that's
Yes,
officially, right? But when does the weather
yes.
actually start to get more mild? Is it already starting?
Yes, apparently it's going to be on Tuesday. Not. It should be uh, on Sunday, but
Hmm.
probably it's going to be afterwards on Tuesday.
Ah, okay.
It's the equinoccio de primavera.
Yeah, yeah. For us, it's the fall.
Yes,
Same
the
same date.
opposite.
Same date.
Yes.
So, Man, tell me
Hi.
tell me a
Yeah.
little bit about some of your hobbies when you're not studying. I know you're a very studious young man and you study 7, 8 hours a day. But what do you like to do when you're not studying?
Yeah. I when I'm not studying, I want to learn English, and I'm a member of a teaching Vietnamese club.
Oh,
So
really?
yeah. So when I am not teaching, when I am not learning chemistry, I go to class and teach Vietnamese.
Wow. Okay. Uh, who are you teaching? To whom are you teaching Vietnamese?
Everyone from come to Vietnam and want to learn Vietnamese.
Oh,
Uh,
okay.
yeah,
Is it a
maybe
on? Is it a
Korean.
online? Is it online?
Nope. Face to face
Oh,
in
face
the
to
real
face.
life. Yes. Yeah,
Nice.
and chemistry is my job, and my passion is language.
Really?
So yeah, so that's why I really want to learn English, and I love to teach Vietnamese for
Okay.
other people.
Now, since you live in Vietnam, are you teaching younger kids to speak better Vietnamese, or are you teaching people who don't speak Vietnamese?
I'm teaching people who don't speak Vietnamese.
Oh,
Uh, yeah.
like whom? I'm trying to figure out who they would be. Are they foreigners?
Um, yeah, foreign people come to Vietnam to live, or just maybe tourists,
Oh,
or just everyone want to learn Vietnamese can, and
nice.
it's totally free.
Wow. Interesting.
Yeah.
Where do you teach these classes at?
The first I teaching about some question very common and to meeting in the first time like a hello, how are you? Some question,
Mm-hmm.
some basic question.
Okay.
And then I have a program about like the first I teaching about pronunciation,
Mm-hmm.
and then I teaching about the alphabet,
Hmm.
alphabet. Yeah, and then I teaching about writing, reading,
Wow.
and I write the level of student.
And where do you go to teach? Do you go to a library? Do you go to the university? Where do the people meet you?
Uh, Everywhere, and right now I am very busy, so I just can teach three students from America, from Ireland, two people from Ireland, and one
Wow.
people from America.
Wow.
And we usually meet at coffee shop or a park, and library. Yeah.
Hey, that's neat. That's cool.
Yeah,
So
I feel very happy when people can speak Vietnamese, and I want to make friends.
I met a Vietnamese man here. Well, in California we have a lot of Vietnamese people, but so I used to speak with some Vietnamese people in California. But here in the part of Ohio where I live, there aren't that many Asians. But a couple months ago, I met a Vietnamese man here in my town, Perrysburg, and I was surprised because he's been here for 10 years and he doesn't speak any English. So I
Right.
tried to communicate with him. I have a little booklet. I showed him this booklet in Vietnamese. So I was trying to remember the alphabet. The alphabet in Vietnamese uses um, similar characters to English, but you have a lot of different marks, right?
Yeah. In Vietnamese, it's different English about the tone. Yeah,
Tone.
Five
that's
tones.
why. Yeah, five tone. Yeah, how do you know? Yeah, that's
Because
good.
there is a Colingo student called Victor
Yeah,
who
Oh,
told us that you have five tones.
yeah.
yeah. So
It's
that's
very,
why.
very difficult.
Yeah, so that's why people when learn Vietnamese, when they learn Vietnamese, they feel very difficult to pronounce Vietnamese. Um, yes, but we have five tones, so that's why when you can read or you can speak Vietnamese, even when you don't understand the meaning of the word, you can write it when
Hmm.
you can hear the word. Yeah,
I see. I see. Hmm.
yeah. When now I'm teaching three students, when I read an article, even they don't understand what is the meaning of the article, they can write very correctly the
Hmm.
article when I read it. Yeah.
So on your computer, do you have a special font installed to type Vietnamese characters?
Yeah.
Okay. How many letters do you have in the alphabet?
It's 29, 29 letter.
29. Oh, it's about the same as English, 29.
Yeah.
Do you have a
Yeah.
lot of accent marks and other diacritical marks?
Yeah, very a lot. Like about the A in English, just A. But in Vietnamese, we have A, R. I want to pronounce a little bit. In Vietnamese, it's called A, A, Yeah,
Wow.
we have three letters.
Three letters.
You can see. Yeah,
And Wow. So the little
yeah.
circle changes the
And in
tone.
Vietnamese, yeah. So in Vietnamese, we don't have this letter. And this letter. True, this letter we don't have.
You don't
And
have
this letter.
you don't have CH.
Yeah.
Hmm.
G and G. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, we don't have this letter.
Language is amazing, huh? So many languages in
Yeah.
the world. I read recently that if you count all of the small languages on the
Yeah.
island, there are over
And we
7,000 languages on planet Earth.
it's
Your internet connection is breaking up a little bit, man. Still there? Uh-oh. Okay, so today we're going to talk about adverbs of frequency, right? So for instance, Cecilia, if I ask you, how often do you eat out at restaurants?
I seldom eat out at restaurants.
Okay. What about you, Man? Man, can you hear me? I think he's gonna have to reboot connection.
Maybe you can type it,
I think his connection's
man.
dead. He'll probably have to reboot.
Mm,
If I can type today, restaurants. There. How often do you eat out at restaurants? There he is.
We have clones
We
of
have cloned
man.
you. There's two of you, Man.
yeah.
There's two of you
And
now in the Hangout.
yeah, I can see. I don't know
So
why.
yeah, eventually the other one will drop out, right? I don't know.
Yep. Yeah.
So we're doing adverbs of frequency today, right? So if I ask you the question, how often do you eat out at restaurants? What would you say?
Um, I just eat out at restaurant a, a few times in a week.
Okay, a few times in a week. Good. That's fine. What if I ask you, how often do you
Hello?
exercise, Man? How often do you exercise? Hello, Man? Okay. Hello, Trong.
Hello?
Hey, there you are.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay.
About
How often?
exercise?
Yeah, how
Sure.
often do you exercise? Go ahead, Man.
Yeah, I do exercise every day.
Okay, every day. Hi, Trong.
Can you hear me?
Yep, I got you.
Hello?
Yes.
Yeah.
How about you, Cecilia? How often do you exercise?
I exercise from Monday to Friday. That makes 5 days a week.
Nice, very nice. You guys are so healthy. All right. So we'll come
How,
back.
no, how about you?
Me, I
How
ex
often do you play tennis?
not often enough. Not as often as I would like. There's a good expression.
No, no,
I
you have to. You have to. You have
I
to.
play tennis maybe 2 or 3 times per month. I would like to play every day, but there are priorities in life. um, okay, so let's discuss the pronunciation tip here. We talked about linking words together, right? We talked about making contractions with they have, they've. The other linking sound that we do is at the end of words that end with a W. For instance, when we say, how often do you go fishing? Okay, we'll use fishing. So if I'm teaching, a lot of times I will make efforts to speak very clearly because I know that I have students from all over the world and I want them to hear very clearly what I'm trying to say. But when you're speaking with a native speaker and you're just having a conversation and, hey, do you like to do this? And then he says to you, how often do you eat at a restaurant? How often do you go fishing? How often? We combine the word. The W connects the two words together. You could picture, here's a W. How often? So it basically is a very light sound, but it looks like we're making one big word. How often? Okay? Try that sentence, Man. Try to link the two words together with the last sentence that I typed.
Okay. Uh, how often how often do you go fishing?
Yeah. You want to try a different sentence, Cecilia?
How, how often? How often?
Mm-hmm.
How often do you catch a bus to go to work?
There you go. Yep. So if you want to practice it, it's basically think like a fish, right? The fish, when he goes to the water, what's the fish do? Right? So how often? How often? So wah 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 wah. That's the sound the fish is doing. Wah wah wah. All right? But you guys did it fine. No problem with that whatsoever. So we shall move on. We shall continue. Yeah, good. Okay, so if we wanted to try to quantify our adverbs of frequency, if we say, well, let's start with the easy ones. Who's this? Trong, you're back. Hi,
Hello,
Trong.
teacher. Hello, teacher.
Uh,
Sorry, my connection is problem.
It's okay. It happens to me too. So we're talking about words that denote or words that indicate frequency, right? So I'll start off with a very easy one. If I tell you that I never smoke cigarettes, what is the frequency that I'm telling you, Trong?
Mm, make a sentence with the never.
Yeah, go ahead. Make a sentence with never.
Yeah. I never play play soccer.
Okay. I never play soccer. So
Yes.
on a scale of 0, so if I use a number scale, right? On a scale of 0 to 100, where does never fall? So if I say I never play soccer, is it 0 or is it 100 or is it somewhere in the middle? What number is it? I don't know if you understand my metaphor here. We're giving percentages, right? How often do we do something?
I often to run, you know.
Okay, so never means never. That's easy, right? 0.
Yeah, yeah,
0.
yeah. I know.
All right. What's the opposite of never?
After never,
Yeah, the opposite of never. Never means never. What's the opposite?
it's never. Always.
Always. Yeah, very good. Always. What's the synonym for always, Cecilia? Another way to say always. If you can think.
Usually.
Usually is a little bit less than always.
Almost all the time.
Yeah. Or every time.
Every time.
Every time or every day, right? Yeah. So if we started quantifying, right, at the top we have always and at the bottom we have never and all the other words go in between.
Yes, like sometimes.
Sometimes.
Frequently.
Yes, frequently. Okay.
And I can use hardly,
Say again?
hardly.
Hardly. Yes.
Yeah.
Hardly. Make sure you pronounce the D. Hardly.
Hardly.
Yes. Yeah. What does hardly mean, Trong?
I think it means the same never, right?
Close. Never means never.
Okay,
Hardly means once in a while.
okay.
Hardly means the same as seldom.
Mm.
Here, I'll give you a chart where you can use just to put it in your mind. Here's a little bit of a. I don't know if it'll come out here. Let's try this. Let's just do the one at a time. This is probably safer because it doesn't chat very well. So, 100% all the time, always, every time. Right? And obviously these numbers that I'm giving you now are just estimates, but it's to organize it in our mind so that we use the terms correctly. Usually, often, 80, 90% of the time, right?
Okay.
So can you make a sentence with usually? What do you think, Trong? Can you give me a sentence with usually?
I typically go to print with my friends.
Okay. All right. And then I'm not sure if I totally agree with all of these percentages, to be honest, because this is subjective, right? This is in the eye of the speaker. Sometimes I agree with that. Sometimes means half and half, right? Sometimes I sleep in, sometimes I don't. Sometimes I eat healthy, sometimes I don't. So I'm 50-50. Occasionally, yeah, some people, if you want to equivalent, but basically it's in the middle. That's the key point. We're in the middle now. And when we get to the bottom of the scale, what are some of the words that we use for things that...
Occasionally, rarely, hardly ever.
Yes, good. Yeah, rarely. Somebody said one earlier, right? I think that when I asked you how often do you eat at restaurants, Cecilia, I think you used another one.
Seldom.
Seldom. Hardly. And if you wanna, if you wanna, I think you just said it right. You said hardly ever.
Hardly ever.
Yeah.
Hardly ever do I.
Yeah.
Inversion, no?
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. Hardly ever do I. Almost never. So we're getting closer and closer to zero. We can combine words to make very infrequently. Okay, so Trong, ask Cecilia a question. How do you ask a question if you want to find out the frequency that she does something? How do we phrase the question?
Mm,
Maybe ask her a question about cooking breakfast, or I don't know, going to the movies. Ask her a question about the frequency of her going to the movies. I don't want to give you the question, so I'm being careful.
have you ever been cooked for dinner for family?
Okay.
Yes, yes, I do cook dinner for my family. But how often do I cook
Often.
dinner for my, how often do I cook dinner for my family?
Oh,
Well, I, honestly speaking, I seldom cook dinner for my family, as my husband regularly does.
Ah, very nice.
A new one,
Okay,
regularly.
uh, Trong, I want to make a contrast here between the two questions to make sure we understand the difference. Hello, I don't read Russian. I apologize. I know this is the Russian alphabet. How do I say your first name? Hello? Welcome to Kolingo. You'll have to help me out. I don't read Russian. I wish I did. If you can hear me. Okay, so Trong,
yeah.
the last two questions I typed.
Eric,
Go ahead, read them.
yeah. Have you ever been dinner for your family?
And the one
Right?
before it,
Is that?
the question right before that, above that. What's the one above it? How?
uh, how often do you cook dinner?
Yeah. What's the difference between the two questions? And I left a blank because I want to make sure we put the right. Okay, let's look at this one. The second question that says, "Have you ever?" What's the correct verb?
I think it's pink, right?
No, it should be a form of cook. We're talking about cooking, right?
Yeah.
Have you ever
Cook,
cooked? Yes,
cooked. Yeah.
cooked. So it's phonetically it's pronounced like this. It sounds like cooked with a T at the end. Cooked.
Yeah.
Whenever we have a voiceless sound like a T sound or a P
Mm,
sound,
yeah.
the next letter is a T sound. So
Yeah.
cooked.
I know. I know.
So have you ever cooked for your family? What's the
but
difference?
sometimes,
Go ahead.
but sometimes I forget pronunciation ending sound.
It's okay. That's okay. It
Yeah.
happens. What's the difference between these two questions? How often do you cook dinner, and have you ever cooked dinner for your family? What's the difference in those two
Yeah,
questions?
I think different because uh, how often do you cook dinner? It is a question for simple sentence. And have you ever cooked dinner for your family? The uh, simple perfect, right?
Okay. Present perfect, true. Present
Yeah,
perfect. But
yeah.
what is the difference in the information? Put the grammar to one side without talking about grammar. If I what do I want to know? If I ask Cecilia, how often do you cook dinner? I'm asking for the frequency. I want to know, does she cook dinner twice a week, 3 times a week, 5 times a week? right?
Yeah.
But if I ask, have you ever cooked dinner for your family? I just want to know at some point in your life, have you done it once? It's a different question,
Uh,
right?
yeah.
So keep in mind the meaning of the questions. When we talk about frequency, we want to use the expression how often. How often,
Yeah.
okay?
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Go ahead, Cecilia. Ask Trong a question about frequency for something.
Okay. Chang,
Yeah.
how often, how often, how often do you write in English?
Sometimes I write to English.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Let me give you some tips here on where the placement goes in a sentence. This is interesting. If the verb is a form of to be, then uh, the adverb usually goes after the verb. It's kind of interesting to think about. I'll give you an example of a sentence here. Here's a simple sentence. I like this one. Notice the placement of the adverb. So, Trong, you want to read the sentence for me?
Yeah. I am usually at home on Sunday.
Yeah. So, what's the adverb of frequency in that sentence? Which
Uh,
word?
Verb is to be,
Mm-hmm.
uh, and verb to frequency um, after to be.
Yeah, that's it. Okay. So, can you give me a sentence, Cecilia, using to be and another adverb, a different one?
Yes. He occasionally pays attention to the teacher.
Okay, good. He occasionally pays attention. Very natural. And in that case, the adverb was before the verb, right? Because you said pays attention. Now, if we use
Sorry, I had to
what if
use
I
to.
say it's okay. The nice thing is that you did it naturally and you did it correctly.
Okay.
What if I give you the sentence? What if I give you the sentence? Johnny is late on Friday mornings. Okay, listen to the sentence. Johnny is late for school on Friday mornings. And
Yes, late.
if I want to add an adverb of frequency, where should I put? Where is the natural place that it should go?
After is
Yep. So I will type it here.
constantly.
There you go. Constantly late
Is constantly late
for school.
for school on Sunday mornings. Sunday mornings, I said. Sunday, there's no school on Sunday.
I said Friday.
But I thought of Sundays because I teach on Sundays here in my country.
Okay.
Ah,
I'll just leave. I'll just
okay.
take out the day. We'll just say constantly late for school. Okay.
Yes. Thank you.
Yeah. Now here's a different sentence. Let's use the same adverb of frequency, Trong. And let's say that this is a very noisy student. Okay. And now, Trong, can you take the adverb of frequency constantly and can you insert it into my last sentence? Where would it go?
I make a verb frequency in this sentence.
Yeah, the last sentence I taped, can you add an adverb of frequency?
Uh, Johnny always be out of turn my class.
Yeah, good. So in this case, where does the adverb go?
I think adverb before the verb frequency,
Yeah.
right?
The place that you put it was correct. It goes before the verb. Okay.
Before the
The only exception is when we use the form of the verb to be. So with to be, like the previous sentence, Johnny is constantly late. Or we are often, I am often on Kalingo. How's that one? I am often on Kalingo's website. So we switch the order when it's the verb to be. Okay? And here's another rule for you. If the sentence has two verbs, the adverb of frequency goes between them. Because usually if you have two verbs, you're making a construction like the present perfect. Right? So I'll give you a sentence and let's see if you can adjust it. Hello, I know there's another student in class. I'm not sure of your name. Can you hear me? No? Okay. It's okay if you just want to listen. That's fine. So Cecilia, can you adjust my sentence and insert an adverb of frequency somewhere?
There before. We have um, we have generally been there before.
Okay. I'm not too sure about which adverb that you're using, but that's the
Generally, no?
the more logical one would be never.
We have never been there before. We have never been there before.
There you go. I don't like this. I have a problem with there's a little window that pops up on my computer and it covers my Kalingo chat. It irritates me. When I'm typing it, this little message pops up. It's from my antivirus. It's from my antivirus.
I understand.
I can't figure out how to tell it to stop popping up. Unless I disable the whole program, but I don't want to do that. So you see that? You see that? Yeah. You see that, Trong?
We have never been there before.
Yeah.
We have never been there before.
All right, here's another one, Trong. Maybe you can make this. You can adjust this sentence for me. You can add in a. Let's change students. We're gonna say Jimmy. Jimmy is a. So instead of a present perfect, now I'm giving you the present continuous, right? Focus on the second sentence. So Jimmy is a very nice boy. He is trying to help others. Tron, could you add an adverb of frequency into the sentence?
Verb frequency, right?
Yeah, put in an adverb of frequency into the second sentence that I typed in my description about Jimmy.
Yeah. Let me see.
First of all, where would it go?
Jimmy is a very nice boy. He always trying to help others.
Perfect. Good job. He is always trying to help others. So it goes between the two verbs. See that? Excellent. All right. Hi, Man. Good to see you again.
Hello.
All right. So it's time for us to do the article. So let me open it up. We're going to talk about surfing. And what we're going to do is first we'll read the article and then we will there's the link. After we read it, I will show you a very short video. Maybe it's only 2 minutes long. You can see what it's like to surf in this particular location. Hey, do they have surfers in Vietnam?
I think I have a, but I don't know.
Yeah, I think Indian Anchor has this service.
Are there any good surfing locations in Vietnam?
No, I have never seen or I've never heard about the service
Okay, maybe
because in Vietnam, yeah, in Vietnam don't have a big shore.
the waves, huh? The surf is probably not big enough.
Yeah.
All right. So, are you guys ready? You have the article open? Trong, are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay, I'll start off. The title of the article is The History of the Teahupoo Waves and Surf Break. Teahupoo is one of the most powerful and deadly waves in the planet for surfing. How do you ride Tahiti's infamous surf break? The history of Teahupoo and surfing is not an old one. The town of Teahupoo has seen surfers coming from all regions of the globe since the 1960s. Back then, wave riders discovered that it was possible to paddle out to a reasonable surf break in only 15 minutes. All right, let's see, how long is this article? Let me read one more paragraph. It says, the first surfer to ride Teahupoo was Tahitian Thierry Vernauden in 1985. At least he claims the first ride, along with a few local friends. The entire island is surrounded by coral atolls, and this spot knows it very well. Not sure about the grammar there. Okay, under the picture, Man, can you read the next paragraph?
Okay. From Mike Stewart and Ben Silverson to experienced body brothers. This was almost the perfect bridge. They followed the steps of Ronaldo
Mm-hmm.
and brought the world Teahupoo to Hawaii and the rest of the globe.
Okay, good, thank you. Trong, you want to try the next paragraph, please?
The defining moment only comes in 1998. Thus, the Gotcha Hathi proceed terrible, going wild and pumping furious. Breathtaking waves, the South Pacific Surfrest, also known as choppers, were increasingly inviting the big wave surfing elites to Tahiti.
Tahiti. Thank you.
Tahiti.
Let's see. Cecilia, next paragraph, please.
Okay. The heaviest wave in the world would claim lives, but would also crowd unforgettable surfers and their epic rides. Laird Hamilton scored the famous Millennium Wave, and Amy Irons took the title in King of Teahupoo to the skies forever.
Okay. Underneath the picture, it continues saying, if you want to surf Teahupoo once in a lifetime, first of all, don't risk your life. Pick a head-high day and start getting used to the fast and hollow drop. Then after 10 waves, go for a barreling ride to feel the power and speed of Tahiti. Are you unsure where to sit in the lineup? No worries. Depending on the direction of the swell, there are only 3 takeoff spots in Teahupoo. The hardest and most challenging spot is the southern surf peak. Expect a deep takeoff, and no mistakes are accepted here. The southwest is the most popular one. Finally, get a backdoor experience on the western elbow of Teahupoo. Okay, Man, you want to read the next paragraph underneath that next picture?
Yep. Um, the Tahitian pier can quickly change its appearance if wind and swell decide to head different ways. The best classic swell direction in Teahupoo is south-southwest, while northern breezy will ensure its glassy look.
Okay. Let me read this last paragraph. It says, Teahupoo is a vibrant and mutant slab breaking over a shallow live reef. Its wave face is much bigger than its back, and therefore offers a heavy, liquid, and tubular ride that may be surfed in 45-foot conditions. Are you ready for it? All right, so there's a lot of surfing slang in this article. That might make it a little bit difficult, but I'll just ask you some simple questions. Remember, we're focusing on frequency, right? So, in the top of the article, second paragraph, how quickly can a surfer paddle out to find good surfing at this location? How quickly? How quickly is it possible to paddle out to a reasonable surf break?
F- 15 minutes.
Yeah, in only 15 minutes. They're talking about how long it takes to swim out to the good waves. Yeah. Okay. How about this question for you? Okay, go down to the paragraph. Between the two pictures. So there's a picture. There's three pictures. There's a man surfing in a wave. There's a small picture, and then there's a picture of a whole bunch of people. You see the picture where there's like 50 people in the water?
Yes.
All the boats, all the kayaks. Right above the picture of everybody in the water, there's a paragraph that talks about the Millennium Wave. According to this paragraph, how long will Mr. Irons retain the title of King of Teahupoo? I guess he's such a good surfer. He has been crowned the King of Teahupoo. How long will he retain this title of king? Supposedly.
Forever.
Forever. There's a good indication of time. All right. According to this article, right underneath the picture of all the people, going to Teahupoo to surf. How often of it, might you get this experience?
Once in a lifetime.
Once in a lifetime. Yeah. Why do you think they call this a once in a lifetime experience?
Because you might get drowned. I'm kidding, I'm kidding, I'm kidding, I'm kidding.
It could
Black
happen.
humor, black humor.
Yeah. But that's an expression that you will find among native speakers. They'll say, "Wow, this is a once in a lifetime experience." That's a very good expression to describe a special event. If you go on a trip, you say, that was a once in a lifetime trip.
Because you won't ever forget it, not because you get drowned.
Yeah, because you won't ever forget it.
Yes.
That's very true. All right, I tell you what. How about this? I will show you guys a little video, and then I have one more question for you. You can put
On
the art.
YouTube?
Yeah, I'm gonna give you a YouTube video. So open your YouTube app if you don't have it open yet. Trong, you know how to use the YouTube app?
Sorry, teacher.
Do you know how to use the YouTube movie app? The little red button.
I often log in YouTube.
Yeah, the YouTube app right here in Colingo, right? There's a red button with a little white triangle.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So I have a video for you guys to watch. It's very short. It's 2 minutes. We're gonna look at surfing in Tahiti, and then I want you guys to tell me what you think of this. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Here we go. There you go. What do you think?
Yeah, I see the
Well,
wave.
it looks like a
Yeah,
tsunami.
it's look astronomical. It's very big. Yeah.
Cecilia, did it freeze? It froze up? I
Yes.
don't know.
Oh,
I,
what a pity.
well, I'll give you the link so you can watch it on your own if you want to.
Okay.
Personally, I think these guys I like to watch it, but personally, I think they're a little crazy. But some of those guys are probably the best surfers in the world. There you go. They call that place the heaviest wave in the world because of not the size of it, but also the thickness of the wave. It's a very, very heavy wave. It curls over. It's just amazing. So
Have you
would you
ever
like to
tried this one? Do you know to play this one?
have I ever tried surfing or have I ever tried that wave?
Yeah, have you ever tried surfing?
Yeah, I've tried surfing. I'm
Wow.
not very good at it.
Yeah, but it's
It's fun.
amazing.
It's fun. It's fun. I've tried more bodyboarding where you lay down. Bodyboarding is easier where you lay on the small board and you lay down. When you stand up, that's more difficult.
Yeah.
All right, so let's see. I have some questions for you guys. Let's try this. How about I give you how about I give you an adverb of frequency and you make a sentence for me? Trong, what
Yeah.
if I give you the word rarely? Can you make me a sentence using rarely?
Really?
hmm
Yeah. I'm really to read sentences uh, for uh, for teacher teacher for me to me. Really?
Yeah, rarely.
So,
You want to try again? Do you know what the word rarely means?
really, let me see.
Rarely means almost never.
Oh, I I am really uh to I'm really mm, to play volleyball.
Okay. You have to get rid of the word to. I rarely what? Just use the verb. I rarely. What's the verb?
Yeah. I really um I really play um volleyball.
Yep. That's it. Good. Okay. So just I rarely play. Okay. Um, Man, can you make me a sentence using occasionally?
Occasionally. Can you write this word? Can you know the meaning of this word?
Occasionally. Here, let me just copy it here because it's faster than me trying to type it.
Lazy.
There you go.
Okay.
Occasionally means sometimes.
Uh-huh. Yeah, occasionally I occasionally uh, I occasionally go to the beach.
Good. Excellent. Um, so let's see. Cecilia, what about, oh, I don't know. How about another one with seldom?
Mm, I seldom eat chocolate these days.
Very good. Yeah. And Man, do you remember the rule? How about can we use a construction like have? Let's use present perfect. Something with have, have done, have gone. Can you give me a sentence using present perfect and maybe a frequency indicator?
Uh, with the adverb,
Yep.
which adverb?
You choose.
Okay.
It's up to you.
Uh, yeah. I have um, I have never I've never played surfing. Surfer. I've never played surfing.
You have never what?
I have never played surfing.
Oh, surfing. Okay. Yeah. We said we don't use the word played, but that is correct grammar. You did a good job with the grammar, but we wouldn't say played surfing. Surfing is more of something that we say, I have never gone surfing, or never tried surfing.
Uh, yeah.
Even though it's a sport, they don't play it. For some reason, they don't say I play surfing. It's I surf. So you can say I have never surfed or I have never tried surfing. Yeah. It's more of a hobby. It's like an activity.
And because the surf is a verb, right?
You can make surf into a noun or a verb. Yeah.
Yeah.
Surf. Yeah, just with no H sound. No, it's not surf, it's surf. Just S sound. Okay. How about let's see. Trong, can you hmm okay. Can you make me a sentence using can you make a sentence using the verb to be? Something like we are. Can you use we are in a sentence and then use an adverb of frequency in there somewhere?
Yeah. I am never too late for work.
Good. Good for you. He's a punctual man. How about Cecilia? A continuous statement. Can you make me a continuous statement with an adverb of frequency?
I am always drinking mate in class.
Yes, you are.
Bad
Yeah.
habit. Bad habit.
No, there's probably nothing wrong with it.
Okay.
Isn't mate good for you?
Yes, because I wake up so early that it's a good companion and it's not harmful.
A little caffeine, right? It's like coffee.
Yes, yes,
All things in moderation is the expression we use.
yes.
Um,
I don't take it to work. Some people take it to the institute to study and to work, and I don't take it neither to work nor to study. So it's only at home and in the mornings.
yeah. Okay, here I have a word for you. Let's see if you guys can make an expression using an adverb. If a situation is unimaginable, or this idea is something that is unimaginable or out of my comprehension, what?
Unbearable.
Yeah, can you make an expression about using frequency? What do you think? I don't want to give the sentence away. Think about imagining. So imagining this situation, right?
Yes,
So we da 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 this situation. Something that is beyond my comprehension. There's a couple of different ways you could say this, but I'll just leave a big blank in the
yes,
middle.
yes.
How about I'll give you the ending. Imagined this situation. We blank 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 imagined this. Think about someone as
Before.
this. Yeah. So what would be like a logical a verb construction there using a? This is something that.
I have never.
Okay. Go ahead.
I have never imagined this situation
Yeah.
before.
Okay. Or we have never imagined this situation. Or something happens
Yes,
and now I can't believe it. So how about I could have, what would be the right one? I could have blank imagined this situation before. What would be the logical word there? Anybody know?
I could.
This
I
is kind of
could
a
have.
this is a complicated sentence, but I'm giving you a hard one here at the end of class.
I could have. I could have imagined. No?
I could have never imagined this situation before.
I could have never imagined this.
Never
I could have never imagined
imagine.
this situation before.
Yeah.
Could have never
Yeah.
imagined.
Oh, one last tip. Oh, I'm hearing something. One last tip about the placement of the adverb. There is an exception to the rule about putting it in between the verbs, and that's if you're comfortable with inversion of sentences, but that's more poetic, right? For instance, I can say, "Never could I have imagined that I would find myself here." But
Yes.
that's advanced speech. That's an advanced
Yes.
speaking technique. Never could I have imagined that you would treat me this way.
Yes.
It's more common to say, I could never have imagined that you would treat me so badly. I could never have imagined, or I could have never. So when there's three verbs like that, you could move it around a little bit. I could never have imagined, or I could have never imagined. It's okay. It goes in between the verbs. Okay? So anytime you have a more complicated verb construction, just put the adverb in between them. Typically, it's going to go after the first verb. It's probably more common to say, I could never have imagined. That's probably a little bit better. There's my antivirus thing. I could never have imagined that you would treat me. There. So there you go. So the girl is very upset with her boyfriend. She says, I could never have imagined that you would treat me so bad. So it goes between the verbs, usually after the first one. That's the more common location. Any last questions, guys?
No. Thank you very much.
You are very welcome. Nice
Yeah,
hanging
thank you
out
very
with you.
much.
Maybe I'll see you guys later for Proverbs. We have, today. I like Friday because I have 2 more classes. One is on Proverbs and one is a game. So I have a
Yeah.
very,
Wow,
very relaxed
it's a
day coming up
pity.
for me.
Oh my God, it's a pity.
All right. So maybe we'll see you later.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you
Yep.
very
Bye.
much.
Bye,
See you
everybody.
later.